Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at the best Space Marine chapters. I know that's kind of a broad thing to say. How you define best, Valrak? Is it in combat? Is it prowess? I'm going for more of a heroic look. The ones who have really stood out through the test of time. This is in reference to the worst chapter video that we did the other day. I got a lot of feedback from that. Apparently now I'm a heretic to many people because maybe their chapter was mentioned in that video. Now, being as a Son of Dawn, I have put my bias to the Sons of Dawn GNC to one side. There'll be no Sons of Dawn mentioned in this video, because if there was, then it would just be a list of, Imperial Fists and all the successor chapters, because we all know deep down they are the best Space Marines, so they are not going to be in this video. So let's jump in and let's talk about the best Space Marine chapters. Now, the first chapter on the list we're going to be starting with is none other than the Lamenters. Yes, you heard that right. The glorious Lamenters, one of the most heroic chapters that mankind has fighting for it. One of the most tragically heroic chapters, I actually want to add, because everything they've been through would take out any other chapter, but these chaps still keep going. They keep coming back. They keep fighting on for the Imperium, and they will never stop. This is one of these chapters where when you actually read about them, when you actually see their lore and what they've been through, you'll feel for them. Even their battle cry, even their chapter motto is something of just heroism. For those we cherish, we die in glory. There's something utterly heroically sad about that statement, that you are protecting those we cherish, but we die for you in glory. It really is an amazing chapter motto. Now, their kind of downfall, when I say downfall, their bad luck really came with the Badab War. They chose the wrong side when it came to the Badab. They more or less got wiped out as a chapter. I think they had 200 to 300 Marines left. They were put on a penance crusade because they gave themselves up to the Imperial authorities, saying, sorry, we were on the wrong side. We know our actions were wrong. So they were sent on this 100-year penance crusade. When you're on a penance crusade, you're not allowed to recruit any troops. So with the troops that they had to go along and fight. And if they were wiped out, then the chapter was wiped out. Now, again, unluckily for them, they actually encountered High Fleet Kraken along this. They only just survived that and came out the other side. So again, the miracle, maybe it was the Emperor looking over them, made them survive. And now with the introduction of the Primaris Marines, they now have new recruits added to their ranks. So for me, I'm hoping to see the Lamenters come back in a massive big way. I think they massively deserve it because they are one of the Imperium's most heroic chapters to date. Next up on my list is the Ultramarines. Yes, you heard that correct. It is the Ultramarines. I know I like to take a joke on the Ultramarines every now and then, but really, when you look at the Ultramarine chapter, the deeds they've done, what they've done not just for the 500 worlds and their own bit of the galaxy, but for the Imperium as a whole. They have rebooted Gilliman back now. He's leading everyone. They've got famous characters like Cato Sicarius, Marnius Calgar, Tigerius, and stuff like that. They have some epic heroes, but also their deeds ring out throughout the galaxy. I think one of the problems when it comes to the Ultramarines is the way that Games Workshop has marketed the Ultramarines, and this is why a lot of us turn our back on them and we don't really care for them, because when it comes out to new products and new merchandise, it's always the Ultramarine symbol. All the Marines are painted in blue and stuff like that, and for a lot of people that just gets really just boring, and we just go, right, enough of bloody Ultramarines. And this is why people tend to joke on them a lot. But let's be serious, right? If we lived in Warhammer 40,000, I know a lot of people always say, well, I'd be a Space Marine, I'd be a custodian. You wouldn't, mate, right? You'd be a guardsman cowering in a dirt ditch while an anal demon is crawling out of you. That's what you would be in Warhammer 40,000. For me personally, if I lived in Warhammer 40,000, I would love to be a citizen of the 500 worlds, where these worlds are beautiful, they are modern, they are nice to its citizens. They are protected by noble and stoic warriors. This is where you want to live. This is the closest to heaven you're going to get in Warhammer 40,000 is the 500 worlds. Adding to this beautiful place to live, let's be serious for a second. If it wasn't for the Ultramarines, the Tyranids would have us all on a dinner plate by now. The eastern fringe was the Ultramarine sector. That is where the 500 worlds are. So when High Fleet Behemoth actually invaded our galaxy, it was just down to the Ultramarines to stop that threat. And they did. They stopped that threat. The first Tyrannic War, we've got the second and the third and stuff like that. But all these Tyranid wars, the Ultramarines have been a main key focus, a part of this, defending humanity to stop this alien threat from coming in and purging us. So I take my hat off to you Ultramarine players and the Ultramarine chapter, and I'm going to say thank you for your efforts. The next chapter we're going to talk about, and this should be no surprise to any of you at all, is of course the Salamanders. Where would we be without the Salamanders? The most lovable, the most greatest, well I say greatest, greatest apart from the Sons of Dawn of course, chapter that has walked the face of the Imperium, because what they do for humanity. When it comes to protecting us, we the people of the Imperium, that is your duty as a Space Marine, and this is what they put before anything else. It's protecting us, the people of the Imperium. Other chapters have got it into their mind that they have to kill the alien, the heretic, the Xenos. You can do that anyway, but protect us first. And this is what the Salamanders have had handed down to them since Vulcan. Vulcan has always been like this. I'm not going to mention the Eldar incident with the child because that is a whole different subject. But yes, Vulcan has always been a great, great Primarch, and he has always inspired his sons to protect humanity at the very core, the foundation of the chapter. They will always fight against the odds to do this. We've seen this in stuff like Hell's Reach, when the Salamanders actually stood next to the civilian bunkers. They didn't move. They could have took down the big bosses and the knobs and stuff like that, the main command of the Orcs, but if they did that, it means the Orcs could get through and actually butcher the civilians. They actually said, no, we're not doing that. We're not going for the big bad guys. We're here to protect humanity. And this is why they're a part of this list, because they are absolute stars in that regard.
Get out of my city.
The next chapter may be a surprise for some, but I'm actually putting the Grey Knights down here. Now, of course, we can argue, are Grey Knights really a Space Marine chapter? Are they more than Space Marines, Valrak? I don't know, but I'm putting the Grey Knights down because they are literally one of the most heroic, one of those most badass, one of the most awesome chapters that we have fighting against chaos. They are literally made to fight against the greatest threat against humanity, which is chaos. So they have all the psychic powers you can imagine. They have like amazing weapons, halberds, full swords, everything like that. And over time, they have fought some of the most secretive and greatest campaigns that you'll never ever hear of. Ancient artifacts that can absolutely purge entire sectors have been taken, have been held by the Grey Knights and guarded for eons, so the dark forces cannot get their hands on them and use them to punish and destroy us. This chapter will literally stand against any threat to protect us. One is being demonic Primarchs. They have fought and purged and banished demonic Primarchs. Yes, you heard that right. They defeated Angron at one stage, purged and banished him back to the warp. More notably, Khaldor Drago took on and defeated Mortarion in single combat. We all know the story about that one. Well, Khaldor Drago engraved his Grandmaster's name upon Mortarion's heart because Mortarion previously killed the Grandmaster of the Grey Knights. So yes, these chaps are not to be messed with. They have the power. They have the armorer to take you down. This next chapter have the greatest Astarte which has lived in recent memory. I'm not comparing him to Sigismund because that's a whole different debate on that one. But Dante, yes, Dante, Lord Commander Dante, give him his official title actually, Valrak, because this chap leads one of the most notable, one of the most bravest, and one of the most stoic chapters that has graced the Imperium. Of course, the Blood Angels. Where do we even start with the Blood Angels? Just looking at them, you just think to yourself, wow, these chaps are literal angels. They are angels. The Sanguinary Guard have wings. They have these fantastic abs on their armor and stuff like that. Absolutely beautiful. Their Primarch was an angel. He was a literal angel. He had wings and everything. They even celebrate Sanguinala and stuff like that. It's kind of, I think it's Christmas. Is it Christmas? I'm not too sure. Well, it's kind of like a holiday like Christmas and stuff that they celebrated through the Imperium because of the heroic deeds which Sanguinius did at the Eternity Gate. They've been through so many battles, they've purged against so many Xenos factions, heretic factions. I would probably say that I think the Blood Angels are actually like the nemesis of the Black Legion. Would you agree with that? Like, you know, it's Abaddon's kind of chapter that he sees like as the biggest threat. I could be wrong on that, but that is how I've always perceived the Blood Angels, as being the thorn in the side of the Black Legion. I still think that Dante is the one that will kill Abaddon. Well, that happens in my fan fiction anyway. But as a Blood Angels, as a faction, they're absolutely great. They're fantastic. There's literally so many stories out there, which I probably won't do justice with me just ranting on in this little small video. I could probably dedicate a whole 15-minute video to the Blood Angels and all the heroic battles they've been through, which has saved the Imperium's ass. Now, I was going to end the video here, but I'm sorry, my inner Daunian fandom has to come out. I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't mention any Daunian chapters, but I have to. I have to mention the Astral Knights. The Astral Knights literally sacrificed their entire chapter to stop a Necron world engine from destroying an Imperial sector. This chapter landed like 700 Astartes on this world engine and fought for hours upon hours against thousands upon thousands of Necrons, destroying all the generators and everything that made this thing bloody tick and work just to stop it. They came down to like the chapter master and like some of his honor guard who were just left. They got through to like the last bit, activate the melter bombs, boom, destroyed it all, sacrificing themselves. Only in death does duty end. This is what it means to be a Space Marine. The Astral Knights did this. They sacrificed themselves for the duty of the Imperium to save us all. I have to add them on this list. I'm sorry. I have to add these chaps because they are literally amazing, and I've actually brought them back to life with my Last War Protocol force because I bloody love them so much. Right, now I'm done for the video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Of course, this is just my list. I'm sure you have a complete different list to some of the best chapters, and there's more chapters to add to this. I'm just rounding it up. I can't have this to be like a 30, 40, 50-minute bloody video on all the chapters and all the deeds and stuff like that. I like to keep it nice, sweet, and short, as we always say. So yeah, if you've got any of your lists and stuff or anything like that, post it down below and we can have a nice little chat down there as we always do. See ya, have a great day, and bye-bye.